So it's Wednesday, which means that we got a new update in Old School, and it was a new skilling boss called Tempoross for fishing. And as soon as the update went live, I checked it out, I killed it 10 times, and today I'm going to show you the loot, but I also want to show you guys how you can get your first Tempoross kill. It can be found north of Tempoross, which I think is a really cool location because the desert by itself has a lot of unexplored ground, and I'm glad that they're adding some stuff to it. And for the requirements, you only need level 35 fishing. For the gear, I recommend you to bring the full angler's outfit if you do have it. The bonus XP effect does take place here, and you're also going to need a harpoon. The better harpoon that you bring, the better. But you can do this with just a regular harpoon, that's not a problem. For the inventory, you'll want to bring a rope, a hammer, and about 3 empty buckets. But you can get all of those items on the ship as you're doing the boss, so you don't have to bring them. But if you do have those items in your bank, you might as well take them. So I did record myself killing the boss, and I'm going to show you guys the clip in a minute where I'm going to talk about all of its abilities and basically how to effectively kill Tempoross. But I do want to go over the rewards of the boss really quickly. So you can get some spirit flakes, which are probably the most common reward, and when you'll have them in your inventory while fishing any fish, there will be a 50% chance of catching an extra fish, but you will not get any additional XP for it. This effect will stack with Radha's blessing, and as I said, the flakes can be used on any type of fish, with one exception though, being the harpoon fish, which can be found within the Tempoross encounter. The next reward is the fish barrel, which can store a total of 28 raw fish, and it doesn't have to be the same kind of fish, but basically it gives you an extra inventory whenever you are fishing, which is pretty cool. The next item is the tackle box, which basically provides additional storage to fishing equipment, and you can store rods, feathers, bait, and the angler's outfit into it. So essentially its purpose is to minimize your bank space. You can also get a harpoon fish trophy, which can be put into your player-owned house, and it's only cosmetic, and you'll need level 66 construction and 2 teak planks to mount it. There's also a Tome of water and soaked pages, which are the equivalent of the Tome of fire and the burned pages, but basically it requires level 50 magic to equip, and it's an offhand item just like the Tome of fire. So basically what this item does is it gives you unlimited water runes, and it's also going to boost the accuracy of the curse and binding spell by 20% from the standard spellbook, and then it's also going to increase the spell damage by 20% to any water spells from the regular spellbook. And then you can also get a Tempoross pet, which is just a miniature version of Tempoross, and you can also get the Heron pet recolor, which is going to recolor it blue. But then you can also get the spirit angler outfit, which is purely a cosmetic recolor to the angler's outfit. And if you are going to get this one, but you also want to keep an angler's outfit, you're going to have to go to the fishing trawler and get the full angler's outfit all over again. The only actually useful thing that this outfit does is it acts as a rope while you are doing Tempoross, so I guess it saves you 1 inventory space, but that's about it. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the clip where I'll show you how to kill Tempoross. Okay, so here we are at the boat of Tempoross in ruins of Unka, and basically you want to climb up this rope ladder, and this NPC right here is going to tell you roughly around when the game is going to start. So right there he says 30 seconds, so we're just going to wait for 30 seconds here. Okay, 5 seconds to go. This means that now we're going to leave, and we're going to fight Tempoross. So first things first, items. You can take some buckets here. You can take ropes right here, some hammers, harpoon if you need to. I'm going to take 1 bucket just because I like having 3. And then there's also a water pump here I forgot to mention. And you can fill your buckets up with water, which is going to be useful later. So the first things first, you want to come here and you want to harpoon these fishing spots. You're going to get raw harpoon fish, I think they're called. And basically you'll use these to fill up a cannon, and then we're going to shoot them at Tempoross, disabling his little energy shield or whatever it's called. So you can just go ahead and shoot raw harpoon fish, but it's better if you cook them first, at least in terms of points, and they're also going to deal a tiny bit more damage to Tempoross. So you can see that there's points here. I have 40 right now, and I'm gaining points as I fish, and you gain points by doing pretty much anything. Taking out fires, repairing these totem poles, firing the fish into Tempoross, and then also dealing damage to Tempoross himself. It's all going to give you points, and you need a minimum of 2,000 points. So you can see in the chat box, I got a colossal wave closes in. Basically, you want to have a rope in your inventory, and there's a totem pole on each side of the island, and you want to tether yourself to the totem pole whenever you see that message pop up in your chat box, because if you do get washed with the wave, I believe you lose some fish, maybe a bucket, maybe a rope. Basically, you don't want that to happen. And a strong wind blows as clouds roll in, just popped up in my chat. So what you want to do is you want to use your buckets of water to basically take these fires out. What this does is if you step into the fire, you're going to lose some fish, and I lost half an inventory of fish when last time I stepped into it. So now that we have these harpoon fish, you can fill them in these ammunition crates right here. This means that the cannon are going to shoot into Tempoross, and let's tether ourselves to the mast right here, because whenever your screen turns blue, this is what you want to do. And we go back to filling the ammunition crate with these cooked harpoon fish, and it's dealing a bit of damage. There's 2 ships actually, and the opposing ship I think has the same amount of players. I'm not 100% sure on that, but when you run out, you want to go back and you want to start fishing again. And this spot just moved, so let's go over here. And yeah, this is the first phase of the boss, and the boss realistically only has 2 phases. So the first is the energy phase, which you get by shooting these fish into him through the cannon, and you have to do it before the storm intensity gets to 100%. And then when it gets to 0, we're going to come to this dock, and we are going to deal some damage to Tempoross. So right here, he's going to drop to 0% energy. You want to come over here, and this inactive spirit pool is going to activate, and you can harpoon it and therefore deal damage to Tempoross. There's a lot of people doing this right now, so we actually deal quite a bit of damage. And as you can see, I'm also getting points as I'm damaging him, and getting fishing XP as well. And after a little bit, he should retreat, and we're going to go back to fishing these raw harpoon fish, and basically repeating the process. That's all that it is. You will do this twice usually, unless there's less people doing this, but this is day of release, so there's a lot of people killing this boss, meaning that you'll only do 2 phases. So at this point, you go back to fishing. You don't have to cook them, as I said. It'll just give you less points, therefore a bit less rewards, and you're also going to do 5 less damage than if these were cooked, but it's going to give you a bit more XP as it's going to be faster, and I believe you actually damage him faster than if you didn't do it. So blue screen, we just tether ourselves, and yeah, the wave washes over us, and that's basically the whole process. You just repeat it, and that's the Tempoross kill. And this is going to be my 10th kill of Tempoross. Let's leave this place and let's go to the reward pool. So I will fish 23 rewards, but I also fished 3 of them beforehand. So this is a total of 26 rewards. And I did get this weird casket, which I did open, and I got emerald necklaces, and I got 81k from 10 kills of Tempoross, which is pretty garbage, honestly, but this is day of release. It's probably not the most optimal time to do it. There will be an established meta, and we are going to be able to get better rewards and XP from this. Speaking of the XP, I got 73.9k fishing XP, 1.6k cooking XP, and 336 construction XP from fixing 1 totem pole, and it took me roughly about an hour. I did do this with 99 fishing, so 74k XP isn't too bad overall, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.